Sam Houston State University's Department of Curriculum and Instruction, a part of the College of Education, recently obtained approval to launch a Center for Project-Based Learning, Research, and Teaching. Initially, the plan was to roll out the center with a timed, methodical approach. Because of the overwhelming response to the center, the need for a central place to communicate was clear. As my practicum project, I was asked to research, create, design, and develop a website for the PBL Center. A receptacle for significant content was required to accurately address the meaning of project-based learning for the various factions of the learning community. To plan for an international search, the site must appeal to a broad audience, be culturally sensitive, as well as informative and inviting. We needed sections to address information on Sam Houston's workshop opportunities, a K-12 section, and a higher education section, and a parent section. Dr. Rice shared her vision for the center, set the stage, and gave overall meaning to the project. In a meeting with the Web Services Manager for IT Client Services, we discussed search engine optimization and the use of Google and YouTube as a means to calculate and monitor the number of visitors to the site. Methods of interactivity were explored, such as blogs, social media pages, and a frequently asked questions platform. What would be the content of the site, and how would each interest group be attended to while giving audience-sensitive information? Keeping in mind that crossover use, meaning a higher education person might decide to examine the K-12 section, it became readily apparent that while in the discourse of discussing project-based learning, an original slant would be expected depending on audience focus. The specific guidance offered by the Buck Institute for Education would be the backbone for our site. While addressing required standards with the use of 21st century skills, a teacher will create an entry event to set the stage by presenting what is referred to as a need to know. Next, the driving question will identify learning goals without a clear path to its conclusion. Students have voice and choice in the way they approach their investigation, and the student-centered inquiry is evident. Next, the feedback and revision state calls for instructor and peer feedback, and students make decisions about necessary revisions. Finally, with the use of another real-world competence, the publicly presented product allows students to present their findings. There are some commonalities all PBLs share that separate project-based learning from just doing a project. Projects are not curriculum-driven. Rather, curriculum is project-driven. There must be the presence of a driving question or central concept. Students must learn through investigation of defined goals. Projects are student-centered with teacher facilitation. Projects are real-world and have significance to the student. There is a task, a process, a product, and a reflection. This is the initial layout of the site. It is in keeping with the school's other sites in color scheme, layout, and font. For now, the Workshop tab is basically a dummy tab. It will be developed later when the summer workshop schedule is finalized. The meat of the site is behind these three tabs, as each is a receptacle for a specific level of study. Currently, I am shadowing an elementary school to film a documentary which will eventually be used on the site to demonstrate project-based learning. The website is and always will be a work in progress, and changes will be made by others to update and maintain it. Nonetheless, Being on the ground level of the center's launch made for an interesting and rewarding practicum project.